Hello, and welcome to our fourth of a series of interviews where we will be releasing to our parish community this Lent. Each week, we will introduce you to one of our RCIA candidates who are nearing the completion of their adult initiation into our church. So during these interviews, we hope to share with you both the candidates and their journey, but also shed some light on the rite of Christian initiation of adults, which is what the RCIA stands for. We have 5 individuals seeking initiation or full reception into the Catholic Church this year through our program. 3 of them are coming to us from other Christian faiths, and in the RCIA, we refer to them as candidates. They have a special status and are already considered as part of the Church, the people of God, by the grace of their baptism in another tradition. So these 3 candidates journey alongside our 2 catechumens, or those preparing for baptism. Catechumen translates as instructed, and like the word catechesis in general, it refers to instruction in our church's tradition and teachings. So last week, I was reviewing some children's initiation material, and one of the texts said that all Catholic initiation is a modified rite of Christian initiation for adults. The Second Vatican Council revived the RCIA and elevated it to its place as the highest rite of Christian initiation. With the emergence of child baptism at the end of the patristic period, so the first 500 years of our church, the RCIA ceased to be practiced. But with all the modern sciences and new forms of scholarship that emerged in the 20th century, Catholic historians, biblical scholars, and archaeologists retrieved the centrality of the RCIA to our church community. So this week, we will be speaking with our catechumen, Adrian. Adrian is working towards his teaching degree at the University of Ottawa, but has been an educational assistant with the Catholic Board for many years now. So welcome, Adrian.
Thank you very much.
So I thought we would start off by just talking about your calling to education. And what was the drive at this point in your life that has led you to look into this as a vocation?
For me, I think it was a lot to do with my previous career when I was a correctional officer, and I was looking at a lot of issues that were happening, and I found we were just being reactive. And I found a lot of these individuals I was working with, with just some different insight and educational experiences, they would maybe not go down that path. I could maybe make more of an impact by being proactive and just being a good role model, because a lot of these individuals lack to have someone who really understood where they came from. And my circumstances weren't the best growing up. And I also didn't do well in school at all. So for me, I can relate to the children that are on the academic fringes. And so I started, I decided I didn't want to be in corrections anymore. I wanted to get something else. It just wasn't for me. And I started working as an EA, and I saw myself making that impact. And so the way it kind of works in the board, the more education you have, the more possibilities you have to make a change. So that's what really kind of led me, was just to try and really help people at a younger age kind of make a better change for themselves.
Okay, perfect. And then what led you to St. Joe's? I think you were talking about you met with the chaplain at your school.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool story. Leanne, who was the chaplain at St. Matthew High School, who I had the joy of working along last year, actually. I spoke to her about just kind of how to get into it, because I was always exposed to the Catholic community through my employment with the Catholic School Board, and I saw that community. I saw it in action. I saw people looking out for each other, people helping each other, people genuinely caring, and how the faith kind of all brought them together. And so I started speaking to Leanne about that at the school. On our lunch breaks, I would just go in and I would chat with her, and then she actually led me to you, Andrew. So it was a very cool way of kind of becoming a part of St. Joe's.
And your family's mostly Catholic, I think, right? The Italian side you were talking about.
Yeah.
So are they excited that you're making this?
My Nona is very excited. She's very happy about it. I know it's something that's she wished was different when I was at a younger age, but she regardless, she's happy that I'm going through with the baptism process, and I want to be an active member of the church and things like that. So she's ecstatic about it, and Yeah, a lot of my Italian side's Catholic.
Oh, cool. And then, so, we've been going through our teaching sessions every other weekend, every other week. And I just wanted to know, what was something that stood out to you positively and excited or interested you that we learned about?
To me, it's about just how the spirit is God, right? It is, you see it in the actions, the day to day, and that is, God guiding you is that Holy Spirit. So for me, that is something that I always kind of had that calling to help and to see that good and to do things like that, but I never really associated with anything. And yeah, so just getting an understanding of how the church isn't just a physical building, how it's the community, it's everything, it's people that come together. That's something that I think really kind of changed my perspective and really excited me about everything. Oh, sorry, Andrew, I think you're still muted. I apologize.
Oh, sorry. So what was something you struggled with, and what was the process for you to overcome and be able to move past that?
For me, it honestly, some of the stigmas associated with just the church and in general, where you hear when you're from the outside and you're not familiar with things, things like stances towards LGBTQ, things to, people of, you hear horror stories of someone talking down someone who's of a different faith or of no faith. And that was kind of a red flag because I'm very open-minded to everybody. I love everybody. I don't care where you're from, who you are. I want to see everybody thrive in the best way they possibly can. I generally mean that. So what actually just kind of eased that was our first discussion, actually, Andrew, where you and I just sat down and we talked about those things that could be a challenge, that could come in the way of the RCIA process. And the way we spoke with such openness and acceptance, and just it kind of reassured the good sides, and kind of eased the doubts I had. So before I even started, I kind of, you helped settle those reservations, any reservations I did have.
Oh, sweet. And then lastly, throughout this process over this last little while, how has your relationship with Jesus developed? And how has this journey so far enriched your life?
It's really helped with some of my own battles, my own emotional regulation, and my own trauma that I've experienced through a decade of working with some very aggressive individuals, childhood trauma. I always needed an outlet, and that before my body started breaking down was MMA fighting and boxing and things like that. And now with my faith having grown, and with, you know with everything that comes with it, I'm able to kind of calm myself and to tell myself, you know, it's not worth getting worked up. Someone cutting you off in traffic. Maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they didn't know. Why are you going to get worked up over this? Why are you going to take it out on somebody who doesn't really justify doesn't have those actions warranted towards them? So just it's really helped. My finding faith has really helped, and my relationship with God has really helped me kind of just calm down and to work on that. It gives me peace. Um, the little things and the big things too, right? And it kind of helps me to keep pushing forward to make a difference. Because sometimes in this field that I've worked in, because I still work with special needs on weekends and stuff like that, it can be daunting because sometimes you feel like you're making no change and no impact. And what's the point? Why try? Should I just collect a paycheck and stop trying to put my heart into it? But that relationship with God, like I know my purpose. I'm being pushed by the Spirit to do the work, to help those on the fringes, to be there for people that need someone that could be a positive role model, that can make a difference. That is my calling, and that strength with my faith has also made me just better at who I am meant to be. I truly believe that.
Excellent. So amazing. And what's one thing you're looking forward to or excited about for the Easter Vigil?
For me, I think it's just really, like, I've already felt like I'm a part of the community, but really becoming like to have that insight, like I'm really part of it, and it's actually happening. It's not just we're talking about the process, a year from last year. Oh, this will happen. No, it's happening. So all those sides, all those discussions, all the praying, it's nice. It just feels like I feel like I'm a part of something, and not necessarily just with the Easter Vigil, but just with all of Lent and everything. It's a nice thing feeling to have that acceptance, that welcoming acceptance somewhere, and it's really nice.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, so thanks for this interview. And just a reminder to everyone that if you're interested in joining Adrian and our other catechumen, Laura, for the celebration of the second scrutiny this Sunday, we're doing it at our 7 p.m. University Mass. So come and join us, and also join us next week for our last RCIA interview, where we'll talk to Laura. So thank you.